Since we gotta compete with Sister Act next door, I'm gonna give y'all something holy too.
Sister Act. Sister Act. Yeah.
Murder, rape, hate, wars with no resolution. These are problems caused by man. Hurricane Katrina, tsunami in Japan, earthquake in Haiti, these are problems perceived to be out of our hands, so who do we choose to blame? Well, we blame God. In these days and times, the moral responsibility for ourselves as the human race is overshadowed by individual greed. People do the evilest deeds for power and wealth that they don't even need, and then when disaster strikes and we lack the necessary resources for those in trouble to be freed, we have the nerve to scream, God, why? Now I'm guilty the same, but when I look around and see how we choose to live our lives, I can't help but think God is screaming right back, people, why, and think about it. He gave this entire world to us, and look at what we choose to do with it. Constantly underlying intelligent design with man-made foolishness. We have factories that process food for us while simultaneously eradicating what God specifically grew to be good for us, because that building built for improvement destroys the land, and its inner movements creates foods which in turn destroy man, and then we question why we get sick. More people have died from human hands in any disaster or plague in any time and in any land, but we still blame God. Meanwhile, we put a price and value on the states that He creates while trying to monopolize everything in our reach up to and including outer space, which to me is kind of funny because not only will that land outlive the man that bought it, but it'll also outlive his money. Because God's green is supreme, and ours is just a means of lowering His value while creating plastic dreams. Credit cards by cars and clothes trying to be fly, we are shining as we drive by, but our souls are dying inside because instead of using our heads to try and create true unity, we're too busy getting so fresh to death that our haters need a eulogy, and now fresh to death is becoming fresh to death for our communities. With this materialistic mindset that has no outcome other than to take terrorists apart. Now we'd rather show off our Nikes than to try and show our hearts. And the worst part is that not only is love free, but it's the one thing that we most need to stop the spread of poverty. Preservation of us all as a whole should be the main goal, and looking out for one another should be the only way to go. It's the very reason I believe God gave us all matching souls, but we're too busy in the malls buying clothes to match our soul. As they walk around
Rewind! No. Come on. You can't just sneak by with that. Rewind.
I lost my plate.
Souls.
Alright. Looking out for one another should be the only way to go. It's the very reason I believe God gave us all matching souls, but we're too busy in the mall buying clothes to match our souls. As they walk right past a man who's old, homeless, and broke, sleeping on a sidewalk in front of an empty house that's been foreclosed. On the same street that has a Christian church down the road with a reverend inside making dimes off selling hope like, welcome to the faith store. Miracle water is just $1, but it takes 2 to get prayed for. But no true salvation for it, also broken that when they drop to their knees to pray, they shatter their faces on the floor in front of church leaders that sit on God's altar and tell us what we have in store. As preachers take 80% of our tithes, put it towards their portion. The church is supposed to be Christ's wife, and we done turned her into a whore. And if she went at that, because I highly doubt that finances and monetary goals can be worth their weight in gold when they're measured in our souls. It's disgusting that I can sit with non-believers and agree with what they're telling me is the very reason that they don't believe. And I can tell them to have faith. But dollar signs on church ATMs where people obediently get in line to fill a collection plate circling around a congregation of lies leads them to agree that not even faith is free. We put green in between ourselves and our dreams and then make it seem like even God has a price. Help yourself before you help others is a handy proverb for our plight, but now we work day and night to lead a rich instead of righteous life. We divide ourselves between ideals of liberal lefts and righteous rights, even though those same man-made ideas bring physical deaths from unrighteous fights, but we're still so sure that man-made is the only way to start, knowing good and well that anything man ever made always falls apart. Matter of fact, from what I can tell, the only thing man-made that's still alive and living well is this cold, money-hungry man-made living hell. Just getting worse and worse, turning money into its master, promoting the rising of criminals and the falling of pastors, the systematic murder of billions for the power that comes after, to make whole soulless cities out of natural green pastures. How long until we wake up and realize that man is the world's worst natural disaster? And we have the nerve to ask God, why? Thank you.